I got Sirius XM radio and listened to The Wild and the Innocent with Jim Rotolo. And on Facebook, we could chat with other people that were listening to the show. So I became friends with these people, and I was shocked because I felt isolated and almost like a freak.
People say, why are you such a big Springsteen fan? And it was hard to tell people because they didn't understand.
Like, you didn't speak about it too much because they're like, oh yeah, that's that crazy fan over there.
And then Spring Nuts showed up. It was absolutely life-changing.
I gotta hand it to Howie and his wife Julie. The community that they've created, Spring Nuts, is a very different community.
I used to take Bruce's lyrics and put them on a picture, and then I would write what it meant to me. For another group called Calling All Springsteen Fans, and people seemed to really like it. There was one, I was trying to write something really profound, but what I did say in the post was that Bruce played this and the place went Spring Nuts. And all I kept on saying on the comments was, oh, I love that Spring Nuts. So I said to Julie one time, maybe I should do our own group. She said, well, what are you gonna call it? So I said, why don't I call it Spring Nuts? And my world changed.
I was looking to make new friends. I was in a new city, so I found Spring Nuts on Facebook, joined up, and immediately it became clear to me that I had found my people.
A friend of mine, a coworker, a fellow physician, so we were sitting in a meeting together. All of a sudden we heard Rosalita, and we both picked up our phones, and we looked at each other and smiled, and she eventually recruited me into Spring Nuts.
She was a Spring Nut first.
This shirt, I did not know in March of last year what the hell this was.
I don't have anyone in my life proper that is particularly that interested. Spring Nuts changed everything, and it's just such a great feeling.
You have all these same things in common, and I didn't have to explain myself.
I just kind of broke out of my comfort zone, and I'm finally surrounded by people who like them as much as I do. We understand each other.
It's just fun to kind of daily be able to go on a page where everyone has the same love of Bruce. You can see what other people are experiencing, or who spotted Bruce down at the Jersey Shore and was lucky enough to get a photo.
Within Spring Nuts, it's just everybody, who gets it. These people make me look normal.
The Spring Nuts are an amazing community. There's no BS there, except for the BS.
We had a situation where one of our members' nephew just passed away in his sleep, and this person needed help. And that group came in 2 seconds and paid for everything. It also woke me up to say, am I just gonna put Bruce's picture up every day, or am I going to do something better with this? And I think that was the calling for me.
We've had so many people lose a family member, lose a friend, and they come to our group for the companionship.
When my dad passed, I posted about it in Spring Nuts, and I mean, it didn't even feel like I was getting love and support from strangers. These guys felt like friends.
These are people we don't even really know, and that we're just supporting because of our love of Bruce.
You have like a special bond with the other Spring Nuts. Is immediately you're one of the family.
I've met friends that I feel like I've known my whole life. They're closer to me than friends that I have known my whole life.
It's great to look around and see the shirts around and say, hey, there's my buddy there. Hey, look, there's my buddy on camera. They're on the screen.
The Spring Nuts are definitely around, and when you least expect it, there they are.
We kind of come together at the shows, and then we go off and lead our own lives. And when we come back for the next show, it's like we picked up right where we left off.
We played like this weekend out where we live in Hamilton. But the Spring Nuts, they're going, oh, we want to come. People come out to see us,
These are my people. You can talk about, anything from the concerts to the music to the lyrics, and they get it. Believe me, my husband and my family are tired of it.
There's so many people that have said, I don't have to ask my husband to come with me who doesn't really like Bruce. I don't have to find somebody, I don't have to be alone at a concert. You're never alone at a concert anymore.
It's meant the world to me. It's just a breath of fresh air to share what I've always felt about the music, and now I'm finally in a place where I can talk to other people about it.
I'm sitting at a bar in the hotel before the show, and they're all, hey, you're Spring Nut. I'm going, yeah. Some guy walks up, hey, so have you been to the Serenade? No. And she's just there rolling her eyes because, sure, you're getting talked to because you're wearing the Spring Nut shirt. You're not even a Spring Nut, Dad. You don't even know anything about it. And I'm going, it's just a Facebook page. it's just a Facebook page. No.
The group was growing. Julie and then some other people were saying, why don't we get together?
I'm like, Howie, what do you think about having like some kind of a convention?
We decided to develop a thing that we called the Serenade. And our first Serenade was back in 2017, and it was at the Wonder Bar. And we did it for charity. And I remember driving into Asbury. We saw Spring Nut shirts everywhere for the first time. And I looked at Julie, and we were in the car, and I'm like, what the hell?
You see the shirts everywhere, and it's really something. No matter where you go, you have friends.
I just saw everyone hugging each other, and I just looked at Julie, I said, we're gonna be good.
There were so many people there. I think there was 250 if I'm right, or maybe more than that.
That weekend was an incredibly emotional weekend for me. It was the first time that they were telling me how important the group was to them, and I had no idea.
A Serenade is basically just a huge Spring Nut pep rally.
Everybody at the same time fist pumping and singing and dancing, and it was just overwhelming joy and happiness, and people that were supportive and therapeutic.
Seeing a community from all walks of life. People coming in who sweep floors, CEOs, multimillionaires, and we're all wearing the same Spring Nut shirt, and we're all doing the same thing, and it was, there is life out here. You know, is anybody alive out here? Yes.
You literally feel like you're being lifted up.
Yeah, to call it a spiritual experience, I feel like, okay, those are words, but I really felt deeply about the whole day being just an amazing, positive community experience.
It was fun, it was exhausting. All of us the next day, we said it should all be sponsored by Advil or somebody, and I felt this is a great way to get exhausted.
Can I say it's almost as good as a Bruce show?
It was the greatest 2 days I've had in a long, long time. These people are living. I feel completely different since meeting all these people, and I can't wait to see them again.
We follow Bruce's philanthropies. And so, you know, when we meet, we're always raising money. That's very special.
Yeah, it's about Bruce. It's about the E Street Band. But man, we've used that music to help people in their lives.
One of our Serenades, we raised an amazing amount of money for Why Hunger that year. And as a surprise to me,
Spring Nuts! I thank you for gathering here at the Pony on this momentous occasion in support of Why Hunger. Everybody have a great night.
I do think he values the work we do and kind of appreciates it.
It was a moment. It was such a moment. The fact that he said the name that everyone's church said, when they ask you, does Bruce know Spring Nuts? You can tell them yes.
They had the Serenade, I think it was the fourth one at the Stone Pony. And I'm like, I'm gonna post on Spring Nuts and see if somebody will take me down.
Everybody looks out for each other. So even if you're going to a city you've never been to and you don't know your way around, you just get on the Spring Nuts group and you say, hey, I'm going to Syracuse and I don't know where to stay. Hotel recommendations, and everybody chimes in.
I got one offer, and it was a guy. So I'm like, I'm taking it. We met at a rest area, and I get there. It's not just one man, it's two men in the car. My sister's like, oh my God, you're gonna get murdered.
I went to the second Serenade, not knowing the people that I was staying with, which my husband thought I was crazy. We just became like the best of friends.
Nicest guys, drove me down. We talked about Bruce and listened to Bruce the whole time. And then I got to the Stone Pony, and then I met really wonderful women who they'll be forever friends now. All because I went to the Spring Nuts thing and drove with strangers to get there.
The first Serenade that I went to was able to meet up with a group of 3 other girls. And so we're all friends. We've remained friends. I'm with 2 of them this weekend.
I met a gal from Germany and we've stayed in touch. And that's kind of Spring Nuts in a nutshell.
Israel, Italy. We've met people from all
Japan,
yeah,
Australia, Germany. These are my people. Nothing matters except for the joy that you're getting from the music and the friendships that you've made because of all of that. And these are pretty deep friendships.
We kind of say Bruce is now just kind of icing on the cake because we have such great friendships.
Me and Julie, we've created the foundation. It's up to the members to follow the path, and they have. They're the ones that come in. When we raise all this money, I'm not the one doing it, they're doing it.
I keep seeing the photos from the serenade with people's eyes open, closed, tears during different songs. Nobody knows anybody in those pictures, and everybody knows everybody. Somehow through this music, through the lyrics, through this experience, I've never felt anything like that before.
I always say that Spring Nuts and the group makes the world smaller. And that's my favorite thing about the community. Knowing somebody from Germany, from knowing somebody from Israel, from knowing somebody from the Netherlands, you don't have anything in common, you know, until you have the music in common. Peace on earth, that's how you get there.
And that is the purpose of Spring Nuts, to make sure that we are helping one another and making this a place where people could, in this crazy-ass world that we live in, can enjoy life and smile.
We just want to make the world a better place, as corny as that sounds. And now Spring Nuts, it's the 1 + 1 = 3.